So I'm on my way to practice. I'm in traffic. I'm pissed the fuck off because it's taking me too long to get there. And it's right down the road, but there's too many motherfuckers on the road and I can't get there. And I was frustrated. But I had to think in the back of my mind, okay, that's the bad of the day. Okay, you're just going to have to improve on that tomorrow. You're going to have to do better on that in the incoming days. One day at a time, focus on one day at a time. Okay, the good thing is I did wake up a little bit earlier and I was able to get a pretty decent lift in. So pick your battles, right? You can sit around and be angry. And when I got to throwing, hey, I don't know what it is about throwing that stupid ass ball, but you really forget. You kind of stop worrying about shit. You're just I'm just glad to be outside. Even if it is cold, most of the time I'm glad to be outside and getting some fresh air. So I don't know what it is about throwing the hammer, but yes, the good thing is I did get an early workout session. Didn't do anything too heavy. Ran a little bit. Dabbled in a couple of other things. I'm a dabbler, serial dabbler. If you haven't figured that one out yet, oh well. But I can't complain. Actually, had a pretty good conversation with an older guy. He's like, I can't do what I used to be able to do. And my body doesn't work like that. Yep, exactly. I'm trying to work with that idea with some of the stuff that I'm doing already right now, because it'd be very, very easy for me to come in here and do, I don't know, anywhere between 180 and 200 kilos on a back squat, 150 on a bench, etc., etc. Put up some pretty decent numbers, but what my thought pattern has gone to is what is sustainable and what's not sustainable. And unfortunately, lifting heavy weights consistently over a long period of time isn't necessarily sustainable. I think that if you're a professional bodybuilder or an Olympic lifter, you have to be able to do it. But for us normal earthlings, the number one priority is to stay healthy. I always remember that, because if you're not healthy, you can't lift, bottom line, and you can't get any better. So that's something that I've said it over and over and over again, always in the back of my mind. What can I do to stay healthy and not hurt myself doing it? Because doing that causes you a setback, and then you can't throw, you can't go play baseball, you can't go play football, you can't do your actual things that you need to do or your sport because you decide to jack off in the weight room. So for a lack of better of a term. So did some back squats here. I didn't realize that I was dealing with 35-pound plates. I realized we're all the way at the end of this workout session that I was dealing with 35-pound plates, and that is too much math for me. I wish I had kilos. Because that is way too much math for me. But did some of the major lifts, mainly. Did a couple of accessories. Actually went back later and you'll see, but pretty decent workout overall. I came across a guy while I was throwing today, and he was a nice guy, and it reminded me also that I can't be so worried about somebody calling the cops on me that you won't find the nice people. The guy was his name was Clark, he was trying to offer me to go to church, and the biggest takeaway from after I got done talking to him, he said, I hope that takes you somewhere. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about it like, hope is for pussies. Hope is for pussies, I think. You can hope till you die. You'll be a dead motherfucker still hoping. You either know some shit or you got faith in the fact that you're gonna do what you need to do, that you're gonna accomplish the goal, or you know that you're gonna do the work every day. It's just a matter of time. Hoping is for dying. I don't know how to explain that any better. Hoping is a bullshit, is a idiot's way of thinking. But hey, he was a nice kid. I'm just makes you think. You sit and you think by yourself about a lot of shit when you just your brains and all. I think about technique. I think about life. I think about a lot of shit when I'm out here just by myself. So, and I go back and try to regurgitate it and hope I'm not fucking crazy. But you are kind of a quack job if you spent any amount of time throwing any implement really and truly. I don't think the jumps, some of the other vents are as bad because most of the time there's a coach or somebody's out there with you timing your splits or something. I'm only theorizing here, but the thrower, you've got some time sometimes to think to yourself about what the hell the nothing meaning of life is. Sometimes is what it gets to. But anyways, just kind of a funny tidbit. The rest of the couple of other people actually introduced themselves to me, so I'm not. The cops ain't coming. The cops ain't coming. They actually invited me to the church, so no complaints there. Hey, they're good, they're bad. So I got a little spot I can throw at. I don't think there's going to be any issues here. I'm just gotta get here at an early enough convenience and be ready to put in the work. Did a little bit of work with the 15-pound hour. Did about 10 throws. Did one with the 6K. The other day I got a really, really good lift on the ball, and that was the first time that I'd felt that in a long, long time. One of my biggest ideas, and I'm trying to be consistent about, and I keep on thinking about, is that just because it looks fast on YouTube or Instagram, when you see people throwing, I'm able to actually delineate from somebody that their entry speed is also their exit speed at the finish, and then somebody who accelerates through every turn. And I'm thinking that I like the style of coming in with a nice smooth entry and then accelerating through every turn until you get to a terminal velocity, rather than coming in at an entry with the fast velocity and then exiting at that same velocity. I think that there's a difference. I think that after you watch enough throwers, you can kind of tell that there's a bit of a discrepancy there with the different people's styles, if you will. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just something that I've noticed. So went back to the weight room, mainly a lot of rep stuff, just a lot of burnt myself out pretty much on everything. Push-ups, in the back squats, and I did some rows. I think I did a couple of other accessories, but yeah, nothing major. Always keeping it simple, just trying to stay strong, trying to stay right, trying to stay juicy J. But that's just all I got. You already know what the deal is. Run on your toes, keep your mouth closed, lock your doors, and save your throws. Most importantly, live to fight another day. I'm gonna get out of here.